Johnny Depp, most known for Edward Scissorhands and the quirky pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean, has won his case. The trial against Amber Heard, most known for that one Nicolas Cage film and pretty much nothing else, ended with him taking the victory royale.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes.
Now, as you know, the entire trial was televised, so people like Asmongold would get 12-second clips, usually adding nothing of substance and just watching content. I do sound bitter by explaining that. That's because I didn't think of the idea first. Now, honestly, there were two sides here, but it doesn't matter what team you're on. Team Johnny consisted of pretty much 99% of the internet and every single wine mum over the age of 30 who was reminiscing about the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. And then Team Heard, which was like 7 people. Like, I'm not even joking. And most of those people, I'm convinced, were just troll accounts pretending to be stans so they could get into her follows. It doesn't take an expert to tell you Amber Heard was not liked in this trial. She was very, very unpopular, to the point that anything she or her team did was seen as an absolutely abysmal thing to do. In this trial, she could have taken her millions of life savings and donated it to Africa to make like 10,000 of those atheism rain harvesters. And that would have just been seen as her trying to look good for the media or spending Johnny's money. Keep in mind, I'm not Team Heard. Her team did some absolutely embarrassing things. They'd usually get like one bit of evidence and then try and like milk it to high heaven. Like, for example, the time Johnny was caught drinking, they described it with the word a mega pint.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint?
Yeah.
I poured myself a large glass of wine.
The point I want to make is, even though Amber was proven to be a liar and the trial ended fairly, there were some points where she was like getting a lot of flack and absolutely annihilated for things that weren't even true. One moment that keeps coming to mind for me is her like wiping her nose or her eye and she looks like she's posing to take a picture and it looks like there's a camera flash. Everyone interpreted this as she was posing to look more sympathetic to the media. The problem is, in this courtroom, cameras were not allowed. You could not bring a camera into the courtroom. So this was just completely made up to make it look worse. I did a bit more digging on this, and apparently cameras were allowed in the courtroom and they were taking pictures. And even a body language expert says that Amber knew about the camera and she was most likely posing for it. So I tried, man. I tried to defend her, but no. But overall in the case, Johnny and his team had Amber dead to rights. They had an M60 machine gun and every single bullet was silver tipped. Meanwhile, Amber's team had like a Nerf gun with 3 foam rounds, and 2 of them were crooked anyway. I think the most damning stuff that Amber's team had were these messages that Johnny had sent to friends in private saying how he'll kill her and stuff. Pretty damning and edgy, but honestly, it wouldn't be much worse than what anyone says in a Discord group chat. I think what made Amber and her team so unlikable is how her defense would always use ad hominem. They wouldn't try to dispute information. They'd just personally attack someone and then just keep shouting, hearsay, hearsay. It doesn't make any sense. One example I can think of is when an ex-TMZ manager took the stand to basically insinuate who leaked the story to them. Now, even though the story was about Amber, Amber was dead set on saying, it wasn't me, I didn't leak the story, it just found its way there. But then when he makes a good point, Amber's team just turn around and say, you're only here for your 15 minutes of fame.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
I can ask that question.
Ruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here.
Even though that wasn't the case, because in the back of the courtroom, you had a TMZ lawyer ready to sue that guy, his children and his grandchildren for the rest of their lives if they spoke one line out of rule. Also, I do want to apologize to everyone in the courtroom for having someone from TMZ take the stand. It probably halved everyone's life expectancy from the nuclear fallout. Now, the big game theory is apparently Amber leaked her own story to TMZ to try and like do Johnny as dirty as possible, because with TMZ tapes and recordings, it takes them a while to verify. Surprisingly, they do actually verify their own information, which is surprising. And apparently the time it took them to verify was so quick, it must have been Amber. But obviously the guy taking the stand couldn't say it was Amber, because the lawyer in the back for TMZ probably would have took out his tranq rifle and just like took out 3 shots to his neck, gone. Basically, the summary of the court, Johnny won all 3 of his claims, and he wanted $50 million, but was awarded 15. Although that being said, Amber did win one of her counterclaims and was awarded $2 million. The problem is though, there's a lot more variables. Like for example, there's like a punitive damages cap of like 350K instead of a couple million that Johnny wanted. lawsuit. And then also he actually has to pay some of his own money directly to Amber Heard for damages. So overall, he makes a net gain of 8.35 million. Now, to someone like Johnny Depp with a net worth of 150 million and probably even more in his bank account, 8 million? That's not enough to like wipe his ass for the month. But the thing is, that wasn't the point. The entire reason he took the stand and basically publicly humiliated himself was to gain the respect back of the public and, more importantly, Hollywood. The problem is with a lot of these big companies like Hollywood, they don't really care what you did. They care more how the public perceives you. If you've got a good rep with the public, then welcome aboard. But what Johnny did today, he pulled the ultimate Uno reverse card. Johnny Depp, who was kicked out of like the Harry Potter franchise and basically could only do work with Dior adverts, will now in the coming weeks get offers from all the companies, while Amber Heard, no one will really want to work with her because she's been labeled in the public as a liar. I do want to say as well, which I find quite hilarious, Amber put out a tweet. She's lost the right to speak freely and openly. While the tweet itself, you can only actually reply to it if Amber Heard follows you. From what I gather, Johnny is still in the UK right now, celebrating with his mega pints. I think one thing he's going to just laugh at himself for is how the latest Fantastic Beasts film, the one that cut him out because of all the drama and stuff, that's like the worst performing film in the entire franchise. He's going to be there on his like 300-inch 24K TV, like, look at this. Oh, They kicked me out. Now, if you're on Amber Heard's side, the only real thing that can be confirmed is that he takes drugs. Like, I'm not here to promote drug use, but that is like most people in Hollywood, unfortunately. It's a horrible, toxic business, and a lot of people are taking down that route of vice as a cope. Also, Hollywood is in California. I don't even have to add anything onto that, really. Now, we all have to agree, though, regardless what side you're on, I think the entire thing was a circus, being televised publicly, everyone weighing in, these cringy TikTok compilations that would come up of like, Johnny Depp is so based, Amber turd. Now, there are a few like deranged people that are saying that because Amber Heard lost and she's a woman, this is like a massive L for all of women and women can't come out about domestic abuse. The thing is, it was literally proven in court that Amber was maliciously lying. There was no grey area. She'd been proven dead to rights and even in audio recordings admitted to hitting him. And then when Amber's team tried to cope and bring on his exes, you know, hoping for some big revelation that he is a serial abuser, nothing. They're his exes, and if anything, they were defending him. I think it's fair to say that, like men in general, in cases of domestic abuse, they aren't taken as seriously as women. In a lot of cases, you're kind of told to just suck it up. So if anything, this levels the playing field.
I don't care what she does. If she starts punching you, then you turn around and walk away.
I'm not saying that this is a man versus woman debate. I'm just saying that claims of domestic abuse should be taken as seriously if the claimants are men as opposed to women. Now, again, I want to reiterate, I'm not saying like Johnny Depp is this prodigal of Christ, the angel Gabriel coming from the heavens. He's this perfect human. He's not. He's done some pretty deplorable stuff, some pretty edgy stuff, but I think it makes a good example. With domestic abuse, men and women's claims should be taken equally, not based on appearance or physique. I think honestly, after all this, I have no idea how Amber's going to recover. Her career is essentially tarnished. She got $7 million from the divorce settlement, but the money that she has to pay back is that exact amount and then $1 million more on top. I think I read as well somewhere she got like $3 million from Aquaman, but again, like this is devastating and her reputation is essentially destroyed. Now, companies are definitely going to give Johnny like a grace period. They don't want to look like complete scumbags and call him up the millisecond that he was found innocent. But I don't know what Amber can attach herself to. If she does a film, people will boycott it and not see it in cinemas. If she does a fragrance, people will continue to refuse to buy it because she's associated with it. I mean, maybe in like the coming months or years, because, you know, there's a new story every 5 seconds, everyone will kind of forget and just be like, oh, it's that woman that's kind of bad, but I don't really care that much. I'll buy the thing that she's shilling. I'm not sure if she's allowed to, but I could imagine that she would like use the rest of her money to countersuit immediately because it's the only real route that she can do. Even though if she went to court and won the case, the people that are supporting Johnny would still support him, and the people that are supporting Amber, how small that community is, would still support her. And the entire trial as well, instead of a man trying to prove his innocence, would be seen as a woman trying to like clap back at someone. It'd seem a lot more malicious. So yeah, long story short, Johnny Depp won. He's probably just going to get absolutely hammered in the UK. I really don't blame him. That must have been the most stressful time in his life. I mean, for both parties, incredibly stressful. Honestly, I'm not going to be able to make a proper opinion on this until the Amy Schumer special 1 year from now. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.